The aftermath of the 6.0 earthquake that struck Afghanistan in the summer of 2022 has left a devastating mark in the region's high mountains, with over 100,000 people now homeless due to damaged and destroyed housing. To bring relief to the region, an assessment is being done to understand the shelter needs of the 14,000 families affected. International organizations have formed a shelter cluster and are providing various relief efforts, including the provision of 40,000 tents. While a noble gesture, these are not suitable for the harsh winter conditions faced in these mountains. Repairing damaged housing or constructing new vernacular housing is now a dire need. A team from Miyamoto International has been on the ground in Afghanistan since summer of 2022, assessing the damage to local and traditional architecture following the disaster. With a focus on the technical aspects of the damage and the quantity of work needed for repair and reconstruction, the team has selected 550 compounds, which house approximately 3,000 families or 15,000 people. The assessment method involves using a random sampling method through a GIS platform. This information provides the team with valuable insights to plan repair and construction efforts accordingly. From the dusty streets of Afghanistan to the bustling classrooms of engineers, the story of reconstruction is a tale of resilience. Miyamoto has conducted trainings with local engineers and masons to highlight key aspects of their traditional construction practices and offer up suggestions to improve their resilience. One technique utilizes connecting beams at regular intervals. The structure is able to dissipate much of the energy through a naturally occurring damping action. This results in a low-frequency rocking motion, providing natural earthquake protection similar to modern base isolation techniques.
You see the wood sticking out? That pieces? That's actually really important. That's actually carrying the roof weight. That is actually coming all the way from here to all the way to that partial behind it. So you can see the little kind of a gap between it. What happened is when the earthquake hit, that little hole act as essentially that wood joist we go, which go back and forth because that the partial behind it, boundary wall moves back and forth. This is actually the good behavior because this is the wall, back wall, which is tall 5 meters, also go back and forth, and this wall didn't engage that because much stiffer, so can stay there essentially. So there's nothing wrong with it, just need to be fixed up so it doesn't fall anything to that. You can see out here, this was end of this was actually the geared toward it. So this actually moved back toward this way. So that's what happened here. Motion in this way and this kind of rigid point because that's where the two walls meet. But this is not life safety at all. This can be fixed really easily.
As of now, there are over 2,000 households with repairs in progress, with many of these projects being completed within a few months. Through collaboration and engagement with local communities, these practices have proven to be successful, with many organizations requesting for the training to continue into the future. This is the story of reconstruction and of a people determined to rebuild in the face of disaster. Sadly, the story doesn't end here, and it's up to us to write the next chapter.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha